Good afternoon, Dave Snyder here. It is the 24th, I do believe, of May 2015, and it's a beautiful afternoon in sunny California here in the Bay Area. Anyways, just taking a break from getting the jet ski ready for going out pretty soon. And yesterday or the day before, I did this alignment. This is pretty new. I don't work with this area very much. This is I think it's Smythii crater, or Mare Smythii, right here. Pretty sure. If I mean, I may be wrong, but I don't. I think this is Chrysium. I'm pretty sure this is Smythii right here. And what it was is I was looking at this area, this picture I overlaid a few days ago, where I showed the pyramid shape and the weather, how it aligned over this spot like this. See that area of Indonesia and Southeast Asia or whatever. See how it goes, right? It just fell into place in that position on its own, and I was looking at the circular pattern there, and of course I tried all the ones I always use, and I figured I would try a couple different ones yesterday. And I looked at this area. I could see this area here, and I mean it's the same thing. Check it out. What we got this area here that intrudes inside of it's like a dark area, and we got this area right here that kind of intrudes in there, and you see how it kind of leaves a point there and kind of a point there in a way. Okay, that's the same thing. You can see this area right here where the line cuts off, and you can see that it would fit up there. I mean, I couldn't get the moon any bigger. I can't stretch this picture any bigger. Unless I cut the edges off of it, and then I can make it bigger. But right now it's as big as I can stretch it over Google Earth. It looks like it could be a little bit bigger, but this picture here is probably oversized right here, just a tad. Not much though, to where it matters really. Doesn't really matter. But look at this. You see this edge? When I got this, now I aligned the center of it, and just look how all the edges fall into place on their own. This crater right here is not limited to this spot here. See, people think these are just, they call them mare, which means like sea, right? Or right? These are like, they call them seas. And the Sea of Smythii or whatever. I don't know what Smythii stands for. I don't remember. But anyways, they call them that. And these are impact craters. But this whole impact is like this, right here, all the way around it. You can see that on all of those big impacts. This one here, you see there's an outer circle that's part of that same impact. And all these craters in here, these little craters, are from hitting mountains on the Earth, or something similar to that. It has to be, because the moon fits the Earth, people, backwards. This is a reversed image of the moon, flipped over backwards, and I can see all. It's hard to see the patterns in this picture because you have to get the hang of figuring out what they put in there and what they've taken out of there, because they absolutely take stuff out of the picture. So what we have to do is bring up some of the other images that I already have aligned to this other picture, this weather picture. I have Africa. This is aligned to an Africa picture that I have up here, and bring that up right now. Oh, where is it? Where's this other one? Right. There's Orient. Okay, so here, right here. Okay, so let's bring that same picture up over this picture, which this one here is aligned to that one. This one here was I aligned this to the Africa picture here, and it just happened to fit perfect. So let's check that picture over this picture. See what we see. Okay, so first of all, the thing that I do see is this line that they're cutting out some of it. You can see this line in Africa comes up like this. There is a line there that you can see, something like that, right there. There's like a pyramid shape right here, which is the reason I think they build pyramids. Actually, is something they've seen on the moon. But there is a pyramid shape there, and then when you look this picture over, and you can see this area right here. It fits the whole Sahara really nice. All of Africa. And I mean, I've never been to Africa, but I'm sure that this is matching pretty well for that area, from what I can see anyway. We can get in and look close and check it out. It's not the only area that would have hit this area of the moon that would have hit this area either, because you got Mare Oriental would go right here too. Same with the lunar south pole, fits somewhere in there, off to the side a little bit, but. And then we can look at this over the ocean without anything behind it, which I haven't done too much of yet. Oh, look at this spot right here. Some of these islands may not have been here. Some of these islands might have been here. It looks like this area is still pretty similar. This is definitely the same shape right there, that area there. The way it bulges out at the bottom right here, it comes out the bottom, is just, it's the same thing. That's the same print. Not coincidence. Not coincidence. Just very interesting. Oh, look at the whole print of Australia practically there. Look at that. Right over the top of it too. I'm not saying it's perfectly aligned, but that's the whole print of Australia right there. That big spot right there. Just showing how big the moon is. I'm telling you, it's bigger than they say. I mean, you can believe whatever you want that NASA tells you and whatever you've been told, but unless you've checked it yourself, and I haven't checked it myself, I don't know how I could check it. This is the only way I can see of checking it, because the moon fits the Earth. So if it fits the Earth, it's whatever size it fits. What, you know, the shoe fits, that's what size it is. If I put on a size 12 shoe and I don't know what size, it's a size 12, and I put it on, then I guess I wear a size 12. You know what I mean? It's just the way I see it. But a lot of people do not see it that way. They like to believe that the moon is just small. And maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe the Earth has grown, you know, a lot or something. I don't think so, though. I think it's, you know, because I know everybody thinks it's silly that I get a lot of my best information from like Sailor Moon, because they've known for a long time. They know a lot more than I know. So whatever I get from that, I know it's always panned out to be true. And I've watched the Sailor Moon, Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon series, and there's so many clues in there that you would not believe. Just so many clues. And towards the end, in one of the last episodes of the series, they talk about, they say one time, they say that the silver, that Queen Metalia or Metalia or whatever is supposed, which represents the core of the Earth, basically, or the magnetic field, one of the two. And either way, it doesn't make any difference. But it says that it's equal to the power of the moon's silver crystal. That just tells me that they're equal basically in size. Is what they're trying to say, because that's what the evidence shows. That it shows it every day. You know, it shows it every day. That this is the size of the impact. Right here. This is the size of the impact with the Earth. This big circular pattern around the outside. This is the main part of it, the deepest part, but this is the part, the whole area is like the impact. I'm not saying this whole area is an impact, but it sure looks that way to me. Sure looks that way to me. All the subduction is in this area. There's no other place on Earth like this area. None. There's a little subduction over here and whatnot, but this is the only place on the Earth that looks this way. And I'm telling you, this is where it all happened. Most of it has happened. I think the other stuff, like these volcanic eruptions are ridges that are happening on the opposite side of the impacts. All this stuff here, which are continent creators too. They definitely created a lot of the continent. Europe, I think, was created basically right here, right in this spot around these ridges, and then moved up. As you can see, this whole Asian continent has a trail moving upwards. But it starts out all over here. Everything starts here. Even the weather that I showed yesterday, which was right there. I showed this pattern yesterday. this alignment, or I uploaded a video yesterday showing this alignment real quick. It was just, this is in the Atlantic, right here by South America, just above Antarctica. And I showed this pattern with Mare Oriental, and I aligned it over here, right here. I aligned it to Mare Oriental, and look how this fits on the ocean floor. I didn't even show this in the video, but look how it fits on the ocean floor. You see this line that goes across right here, this straight line, and then this straight line right here? This just fell into place on its own by lining up this circle inside Mare Oriental that I have already set in place in this location. So when it comes up like that, and you see that line come straight along that edge there, and the other one comes straight down just like this, that weather was created right there. And then look at New Caledonia right in here. That fits right in there. It just, I mean, you can see this part right here goes right up into that little spot. And I did not align this to the ocean floor whatsoever. It was only to that picture of that crater. Look at this. You got this corner, come down, and it goes across. It's a little bit straighter than it shows on the ocean floor, but that doesn't make any difference. It's still lined right up. Still, it lined right up. Showing that this weather that was in the Atlantic started out in this location. I do believe. That's, I mean, it started out right here. Or maybe not right here. This might not even be in the original location. Since, you know, we got plate tectonics, everything's moving around or whatever. But this is the bottom, probably the lowest layer of that impact, I would say, where it, you know, it shows the most, where it started, basically. This is where we're going to get the basic shape of the original location where this weather comes from. I mean, it comes from hitting the moon. I mean, that one right there is Mare Oriental for sure. I aligned it to Mare Oriental, and this stuff just fell right into place all on its own. So it has to be Mare Oriental. That one does. And it puts, and when you bring up Mare Oriental, it fits right along this edge of South America right here, which is kind of strange, but it does. And it puts the top of South America right in this area here, in this spot here, and it just moves around a lot. Everything moves around a lot. You'll get weather up here in North America that's absolutely from South America. You get this corner in there and everything. I showed that last year. Up here in North America, you see the weather that's clearly from South America, and you can bring South America up here and it fits. They even got Amazonite in the Rocky Mountains, which they say it originally comes from the Amazon. That's why they call it Amazonite. So you put the two areas together, the Amazon and this area together, they were somehow together. For there to be Amazonite in the Rockies, and I mean, that's just the way it all fits together. You got to pay attention to those things that they tell you like that. They won't tell you the full story. They'll just tell you that it's called Amazonite, and there's no Amazonite in the Amazon. They call this Amazonite up here that they find in those big crystals, green crystals or whatever they are. And you got that big circle there. Oh, and there was another thing I seen today. Oh, the earthquake in Sumatra that caused the big tsunami. I mean, there's definitely earthquake stuff underneath the ocean there. Definitely fault lines, because like I showed, the Toba eruption, the original Toba eruption, with that overlay of the lunar south pole pattern right here, it showed. Let me just point out that the weather shows the ocean floor. The weather shows the surface of the earth better than anything. That's a fact. The weather in the sky is a projection of the surface of the earth into the sky as clouds. So whenever you see in the sky like this, that's on the surface of the earth. That shape right there is on the surface of the earth somewhere. It might not be right over this spot. It might be a little bit over here, but that started, it's from the surface of the earth, this shape, somewhere on the earth. It's not the sun just pulling it up in random places making these patterns, because the patterns repeat themselves. They come back. So the sun is not doing it that way. It's not a temperature thing. The temperature is creating the weather, pulling it up or whatever, you know, creating the moisture. But these spots, there's a spot on the surface of the earth under the ocean right here and right here that look like this and like this. That's why there's earthquakes. Look at that. I would be really cautious today if I lived in that area right now. Look at the weather there, and that's on the ocean floor. This is temperature. This is showing temperature, right? Air temperature. Okay, well there's a big change in temperature from this spot to anything around it. Same here, and that's from the ocean floor. starts there, and then it comes up into the atmosphere or whatever. That's where they get the satellite image. But it starts on the ocean floor. That shape is right there on the ocean floor. That's why there's a lot of earthquakes in this spot, right here in this area, all over this area, everywhere on the earth actually, because this pattern is on the earth. All these clouds or these colors you see in the sky, this stuff is on the earth somewhere, on the surface of the earth. This shape somewhere. You can't see it. They're not showing it to you, but it's there. I can't, show you the perfect surface of the earth. They wouldn't do it if they could, I don't think, because everybody would freak out. But anyways, I got to get going. It's getting late in the day, and I'm going to go to the flea market, see what I can get for free. All right, everybody, have a good day, good weekend. Didn't stop, did it? Wrong button.